Myself, Kirti Pal from Maniklal Mehta MPS welcomes you to online learning class of Brin Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Today, we are going to learn English subject. Today, our topic is 4.2, the story of Gautama's quest, part 2. Okay. Now, in the previous lecture of the story of Gautama's quest, we have learned that Gautam, the Buddha, was born 2500 years ago as Prince Siddharth. Means the Prince Siddharth, the real name was Gautam, the Buddha. Okay. Prince Siddharth's father name was Raja Shuddhodhan, and Raja Shuddhodhan, he was the king of the Shakaya clan. Okay, Gautam Buddha, he was born on the sacred day of Vaishak Purnima at Lumbini. And we have also seen that Lumbini is located in Nepal. In the previous lecture, I have also shown you all the famous tourist attractions of Lumbini where Gautam Buddha was born. Okay. Prince Siddharth's mother name was Queen Maya Devi. Okay. 7 days after Prince Siddharth's birth, Queen Maya Devi passed away. And after the death of Queen Maya Devi, we have seen that King Shuddhodhan's second wife, Gautami, she took care of the child. She behaved with Siddharth like her own child. Because of this, Siddharth, he got the name Gautam. Raja Shuddhodhan's second wife, Queen Gautami, she took care of Prince Siddharth as her own child. It was prophesied at his birth that the child would either be a great Chakravarti, that is an emperor, or a sannyasi, a renunciate. We have seen that it was prophesied. Prophesied means said what would happen in future. Okay, that at his birth, that the infant, that the child, either he would be a great Chakravarti, that is an emperor. Emperor means a sovereign ruler of an empire, or a sannyasi means a renunciate. Renunciate means a person who gives up all the pleasures of life for a reason. King Shuddhodhan had 3 magnificent palaces, one for each season of the year. Means for every season there were different palaces. Like for summer season it was different, for winter season it was different, for rainy season they had different palaces. So in this way, King Shuddhodhan, he had 3 different palaces. And in the beautiful atmosphere of these royal mansions, Prince Siddharth, he lived secluded, protected life. Secluded means far away from the world, alone, isolated. He was not knowing what is going outside the palace. Okay, he was totally isolated from the outside world. Okay, King Shuddhodhan, he was very determined that his son should be a great king. So he confined Prince Siddharth within the palace only and surrounded him with earthly pleasures and luxury. Prince Siddharth was married to Princess Yashodhara, who was the daughter of the Kolyan king. Soon, a son Rahul was born to them. At the age of 29, Siddharth went out to see his kingdom and meet his subjects. We have seen in the previous lecture that at the age of 29, Prince Siddharth, he went out of his kingdom to meet the subjects. And when he went out of his kingdom to meet his subjects, he saw the 4 sights which changed his world. Okay, what were the 4 sights which he had seen? He saw an old man, a diseased man, a dead man, and a monk. These 4 signs he had seen. And after seeing these 4 sights, there entered into his heart a vision of dukh, that is the world sorrow. Okay, and he asked repeatedly himself, what is the way out of the world sorrow? And the unanswerable question led him to renounce worldly life, leave his wife, and sun and set out in quest. Quest means search of the truth of life, because he was finding the answer to the question that what is the way out of this world sorrow. And when he didn't get the answer, he left the world, he left his wife, he left his son, and he set out in the search of truth of life. Now we are going to see the next part of this lesson. Okay, the story of Gautama's quest that ends in illumination and attainment of nirvana is one of the most moving tales. Okay, your students, illumination, the word illumination, it means understanding, and attainment here it means achievement, obtaining something. So after seeing those four sides of an old man, a diseased man, a dead man, and a monk, okay, he was asking the question to himself that what is the way out of this world sorrow. And then that led him to renounce the world, that is give up the world, leave his wife, son, and he set out in the search of truth of life. Okay, so it is one of the most moving tales, the story of Gautama's search. Okay, it has ended in illumination and attainment. Illumination, understanding, and achievement of nirvana. Now nirvana means the state of peace and happiness that a person achieves after giving up all personal desires. Okay, so it is one of the most moving tales. For 6 years did Gautam practice intense asceticism. So after Gautam Buddha renounced the world, okay, give up, okay. So Gautam Buddha for 6 years he practiced intense asceticism. Intense means very strict, and asceticism means simple and strict way of living for religious reasons. Okay, so he practiced yoga, pranayam, that is control of breath, for several days in succession. He ate barely a grain of rice. In succession means one after the other. So for many days, one after the other, he hardly ate, barely. Okay, the word barely, it means hardly. So he hardly ate a grain of rice. Now, what happened due to that? His strong, athletic body was reduced to bag of bones. As you can see in the picture, his strong, athletic body means physically fit person. It was reduced to bag of bones, means like a skeleton. Okay, and why it was reduced to bag of bones? Because he was hardly eating anything. He was hardly eating a grain of rice, so his body was reduced to bag of bones. But it was of no use. The quest of life, that is the search of his life, was still incomplete. So then the Buddha then scattered a handful of grass on the ground beneath the Bodhi tree and formed a seat for himself. See children, this is Bodhi tree. So Buddha, he scattered means to spread a handful of grass. He spread some grass on the ground beneath means below the Bodhi tree, and he formed a seat for himself. I care not if my skin and nerves and bones decay, he thought. Okay, he told himself, he was thinking himself that he doesn't care. He doesn't care if his skin, if his nerves, if his bones decay means get slowly destroyed. So he was thinking himself, he doesn't care if his skin, if his nerves, if his bones, they decay. I care not if my lifeblood dries. I shall not give up until I attain to enlightenment. Okay, he also was not caring if his blood dries up, but he will not give up until and unless he attain enlightenment. Enlightenment means nirvana. Okay, nirvana. What divine willpower on these words, and what may not a man achieve if he would wake up his willpower. Now, truly, there was divine willpower. Willpower means determination to do something. In his words, when he was saying that I care not if my skin, nerves, and bones decay, I care not if my lifeblood dries. I shall not give up until I attain to enlightenment. In these words, which he was telling to himself, there was truly divine willpower, means determination to do something. Okay. And man can achieve anything if he wake up his willpower. Okay, see children, nothing is impossible in the world, because the word impossible itself says that I am possible. It is said that he saw a vision which contained a message for him. It acted as a spiritual stimulant to him, and the words were. It is said that Gautam Buddha, he saw a vision. And what was that vision? The vision was of some dancing girls passing that way, where Gautam Buddha was sitting in deep meditation. Okay, the girls were singing joyfully and they were playing their guitar. So when Gautam Buddha he heard their song, he found real help in it, real meaning in it. Okay, the girls who were singing the song, okay, they for them they were having no deep meaning for them, but Buddha, for Buddha it was a message full of profound spiritual significance, and it acted as a spiritual stimulant to him, or it was spiritual pick me up to take him out of his despair and infuse power, strength, and courage. Okay, now we are going to see what those words were. Tune the sitar neither low nor high, the string overstretched breaks, and the music dies. The string overslack is dumb, and the music dies. Okay, so these were the words of the song where the girls were dancing and singing, and these words they acted as a spiritual stimulant. Stimulant means something that encourages you and gives you energy. Okay, so these were the words. The meaning of these words are, if the tune of the sitar is too high or too low, then the music dies. It is not possible to get the right tune. If the string is over slack, okay, means if the string is too tight, then also the music dies. So this was the spiritual stimulant for Lord Buddha, and he thought to himself that I too have tortured my body to starvation. I have taken two extremes. Let me follow the middle path. Okay, so Gautam Buddha, he was thinking that I have tortured my body. Tortured my body means I have made my body to suffer to starvation. Starvation means not eating anything. We have seen that he was hardly eating a grain of rice, and he has taken his body to extremes, means far beyond excessive, means his strong athletic body, it was reduced to a bag of bones, that is skeleton. So he thought to himself, let me, means him, follow the middle path. Okay, when he tried to get up to take a bath in the river, he found that he had become so weak that he could not rise. Okay, see, we have seen that his body was reduced to a bag of bones. It was like a skeleton. And after so many days, when Lord Buddha, we have seen that Lord Buddha was in deep meditation for many days. And after so many days, when he was trying to get up to take bath in the river, he was not able to get up because he had become very weak. And why he had become very weak? Because from many days he had not eaten anything. Just then, a beautiful girl named Sujata appeared before him, carrying a golden bowl filled with sweetened milk and rice. See, as you can see in the picture, a beautiful girl named Sujata. She is appearing before Lord Buddha, and in her hands there is sweetened milk and rice. Okay. When she saw the weakened ascetic, she offered the bowl at his feet. Okay, when she saw this weakened ascetic, means our Lord Buddha, she offered this bowl at his feet. She said, Lord, please accept my offering of milk and rice. Buddha accepted her offering. She requested, Sujata, she requested to Lord Buddha, please accept my offering of milk and rice. So Lord Buddha, he accepted her offering, and this was his first meal after many days of starvation. Means from so many days he has not eaten anything, and after so many days it was his first meal. It refreshed him and infused a new strength in him. Infused means make somebody have some particular quality. So after having sweetened milk and rice, Gautam Buddha, he was refreshed and he had a new strength in him. He realized that by starving and making the body weak, this was not the way to enlightenment and truth. Okay. Gautam Buddha had longed for enlightenment. Means Gautam Buddha, he had waited a long for enlightenment. Enlightenment means nirvana. And nirvana, it means the state of peace and happiness that a person achieves after giving up all personal desires. Now that night, he found the answer to his query. Query means question. And that night, he got the answer to his question. And what was the question? What is the cause of sorrow? We have seen that after seeing those four sides, okay, in his heart, a vision of dukh has entered. That is the word sorrow. And he was asking repeatedly the question that what is the way out of this world sorrow? And that night he got the answer to his question that what is the cause of sorrow? And the cause of sorrow is desire. The cure for sorrow. And what is the cure for sorrow? It is to give up all desires and adopt right living. Okay. See, Gautam Buddha, there are some teachings of Gautam Buddha, Arya Satyas, then Panchashil, Eightfold Path, which we are going to see. These were some teachings of Gautam Buddha which helped him, which helped the people to become a better person. Born under a tree, the Buddha received illumination also under a tree. To this day, we venerate this tree as the Bodhi tree. See, see children, this is the Bodhi tree. Okay, under this tree, Lord Buddha, he received illumination, and we have great respect for this tree. Venerate means to have great respect. Okay, we have great respect for this tree, and we refer to this tree as Bodhi tree. So this was the story of Gautama's search for enlightenment and how Prince Siddharth he became Lord Buddha, means Gautam Buddha. Now we are going to see the meanings. First, illumination, it means understanding. Then attainment, it means achievement. Then nirvana, the state of peace and happiness that a person achieves after giving up all personal desires. Next, asceticism, simple and strict way of living for religious reasons. Next, in succession, it means one after the other. Next, decay means get slowly destroyed. Stimulant means something that encourages you and gives you energy. Next, infused, it means make somebody have some particular quality. Over slack means very loose. Dumb means silent. And venerate, it means have great respect for. Now we will see the teachings of Gautam Buddha. First we will see Arya Satyas, that is noble truth. Okay, first one is dukh, that is suffering. There is dukh in a human life. Okay. Second, the cause of dukh. there is a cause for suffering. Third one is Dukha Nivaran. Okay, it is possible to end suffering. And next is Pratipad. Pratipad means the way. This way leads to the end of suffering, and this is the way of good conduct. Okay. Next is Panchashil. See, Gautam Buddha, he has asked people to follow 5 rules in their life, and the rules are called Panchashil. The first one is stay away from killing animals. We should not kill animals. Stay away from stealing. We should not steal anything. Third, stay away from unethical conduct. Next, stay away from intoxicants. Next, we will see the eightfold path of the Gautam Buddha, which Gautam Buddha has said, right views. Right views means the knowledge of the 4 noble truths, that is Dukh, the cause of Dukh, Dukh Nivaran and Pratipad. Then right speech means we should never tell lies. Okay, we should not be rude, we should not be harsh. Okay, we should not speak anything that is meaningless. Okay, right livelihood means we should use proper means to earn livelihood. Then right mindfulness. Right mindfulness means being mindful to remove passions and concentrating on trying to understand one's own feelings and mind. Then right thoughts. Okay. Then next right action. Then right efforts and right meditation. Right meditation means experiencing deep meditation and concentration. Now, children, you can unmute your mic. I'm going to ask you all some questions. You have to choose the correct option. My first question is, for how many years did Gautam Buddha practice intense asceticism? First option is for 4 years, second for 6 years, third for 2 years, and last for 10 years. What will be the right answer for this? Hello.
6
Hello.
years.
Yes, very good. For 6 years, Gautam Buddha, he practiced intense asceticism for 6 years. Okay, my next question. What did Gautam eat for several days in succession? My first option is a grain of wheat. Second option, a grain of barley. Third, a grain of rice. Fourth, a grain of lentils.
A grain of rice.
Very good. A grain of rice. Now, my next question. What did the Buddha scatter on the ground beneath the Bodhi tree? First option, a handful of mud. Second, a handful of sand. Third, a handful of grass. Fourth, a handful of wheat.
A handful of grass.
Yes, very good. A handful of grass. My next question. What was the name of the girl who appeared before Buddha? Your first option is Mayavati, second Portia, third Yashodhara, fourth Sujata.
Sujata.
Yes, very good, Sujata. Next question, what did Sujata offer to Gautam Buddha? First option, offering of vegetables. Second, offering of milk and rice. Third, offering of money. Next, offering of grass.
Miss,
What will
offering of
offering of?
money.
What did Sujata offer to Gautam Buddha? Yes, any other answers from any other
Teacher,
student? Yes,
offering of milk and rice.
very good. Offering of milk and rice. Sujata, she offered Gautam Buddha milk and rice. Very good. Okay, my next question. What is the cause of sorrow? Truth, enlightenment, sorrow, or strength? What is the cause of sorrow?
Enlightenment. Enlightenment.
Okay, the cause of sorrow, it is desire. Okay. Okay, give opposites of day,
Night.
beneath. Beneath. The meaning of beneath is below. So what will be the opposite of that?
Miss, day, night.
Day's answer is night. Very good.
Friend.
But what will be the opposite of beneath? See, the meaning of beneath is
Friend.
below. Below. So what will be the opposite of that? Okay, I'll say. Okay, I'll say the answer. Beneath means below. So opposite will be above. Okay. Dry.
Wet.
Okay, very good. Him.
Above का meaning आता है beneath.
Yes. Okay, him.
Him.
What will be the opposite of him?
Her.
Yes, very good. Her. Weak. What will be the opposite of weak? Come on, children. It is very easy. Weak. Okay, I'll say for you.
Strong.
Strong. Very good. Okay, next. Accept.
Disaccept.
Reject. Very good.
Unaccept.
Sorrow. What will be the opposite of sorrow? Yes, anyone? Okay, I'll say the answer for you. The opposite of sorrow is joy. Okay, appear.
Disappear.
Okay, give.
Leave.
The opposite of give is
Take.
take. Very good. And last one, what is the opposite of this?
That.
That. Very good, children. Okay, thank you, children, for your cooperation. We will meet again in our next lecture of English. Okay, bye for the day.